268 individual projects were gazetted. 82 of these projects are already under construction with an approximate value of 437 billion.
Welcome everyone to another epic episode whereby we talk politics. You remember when Dean McPherson took a swipe at Sihle Zikalala, and we know that Fikile Mbalula revealed that there were some fights that were happening. But it seems like Sihle Zikalala has had his day, which he was planning all along, because we've been asking ourselves, why would Sihle be allowed to be bullied by the Minister of Public Works, because he is his deputy? Why will he keep quiet and allow Fikile Mbalula to now fight on his behalf and to call out Dean McPherson and to say, why are you mistreating Sihle Zikalala? But Sihle came and just struck from the head until down. He started with Johnston Hazen. He struck and he called out for not supporting anything that is done by the ANC and accused them of racism. And he went down to McPherson and tried to say that why the whole minister who's elected under the GNU is refusing to implement simple policies. I think the speech that Sihle gave in Parliament was the best, one of the best speeches, and the most happy people which were there was the EFF. The EFF was giving him all the support. They were clapping hands, they were cheering for him, and they were even laughing, especially at Johnston Hazen. Let us remember ourselves, where does this war emanate from? Let us watch here.
By the DA, I saw John Oosthuizen saying that conflict between Sihle and Dean is quite interesting, actually. That conflict, you don't have to be worried about it. I think Sihle is representing what we as the ANC support. And Dean is just being out of character. He must talk to his deputy. He cannot chastise a deputy minister. That's why the debate now degenerates about qualifications and all of that. Because the way he speaks to Sihle is like, Sihle is a ball boy who must carry his briefcase wherever he goes. And because he's a minister, he sits in cabinet, the deputy doesn't have an opinion. I was a deputy minister one time.
So when Sihle Zikalala got a chance to take the podium, it never even minced any words, but he hit back very hard. This is what we call Sihle Zikalala's revenge. Let us watch here.
Factually, this demystified the myth that things are happening only now because there are new parties in government. Never mind that these parties boarded a train already rolling and delivering tangible results. Like Honorable Stijn Hazen, they all speak as if everything is new. They are not in the habit of giving credit where it is due. It is not in their nature to acknowledge work done by others, simply because they are obsessed to claim easy victories out of desperation to woo South African votes. They do not give accolades where it is true, not because of anything but hypocrisy and disrespect of the process of knowledge development. They do not value knowledge development. They have no appreciation that plagiarism is frowned upon among knowledge community and scholars. Anyway.
Order, honourable members. Honourable members on both sides of the House. Honourable members.
Anyway, plagiarism and data integrity are not taught at a basic education level, yet
Sihle Zikalala takes swipes at the DA, saying that they think the GNU is better because they are part of it, and John Steenhuisen thinks everything is new because they are also there, and they don't give credit where it's due, and it is not in their nature to acknowledge the work that is done, simply because they are obsessed to claim simple victories and are desperate to attract the voters. Right? Then it continues to say they don't give accolades when it is due, not because of anything but hypocrisy and disrespect. They do not value knowledge and have any appreciation. So Sihle Zikalala is coming hard on the DA, accuses John Steenhuisen, even all of them all together, they are being accused. So he says, anyway, plagiarism and data integrity are not taught at the basic education level. And the EFF went on and they were cheering for him, and they were like celebrating him, and they were laughing at him, John Steenhuisen, because this one was directed to him, right? And you remember what the EFF used to accuse John Steenhuisen of not having a metric and so forth. So this just fits the emblem. Let us watch the EFF, what they used to say about him.
No, I wanted, Speaker, respectfully to address this honourable member with his rightful title as a matriculant, seeing that there are confusions of titles today. This is a judge. Now you have a matriculant.
Honourable members.
So what is interesting about this is that even the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, was seen even laughing. He was so laughing. This was so funny to everyone. And bear this in mind, not only the EFF was cheering and laughing and applauding, also other opposition except the DA. Let us watch what Paul's behavior was here.
Honourable members. Honourable members.
So Zikalala continues and says here, the world has been subjected to propaganda by the Expropriation Act to expropriate land and property only in the public interest. Then he says the one who owns the property is engaged. There are negotiations and the valuer assess property, and all of these form guarantees and ensure the security of the tenant and property rights in South Africa. So this, you can tell that it is legit, and it was done so that it will accommodate everyone when it comes to property rights. Not anything will be taken by force, as they explained. And people like John Steenhuisen, people like Dion McPherson, people like Afroferum, they understand this quite well, but no, they don't want this, right? So it continues to say that this response is bad for the Minister for Self-Development. So it's accusing McPherson that he is not doing what is called self-development, and he accuses him of racism and says that when it is combined with ignorance, it produces arrogance. And EFF was clapping hands. EFF was happy. They were cheering at him. That's why I say this was one of the best speeches of Sihle Zikalala. The man is so quiet and is not responding right. We even thought, is Sihle now a fool or what? Or is he scared of this guy, right? But he was just preparing himself that when the sun comes, he will hit back directly from Bas John going down to McPherson. Does not care like that. Then he says that expropriation is not only implemented in South Africa, but is implemented throughout the world. This was powerful coming from Sihle Zikalala. Listen to what he says. Let us watch here.
The Act empowers the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure to expropriate land and asset only in the public interest. We have in our country the Office of Valuer General. But on the implementation of the Act, one, we need to ensure that the expropriation, the one who owns the property is engaged. There are negotiations. Secondly, there is a valuer who assess the property. All of these four guarantees ensure the security of tenure and property rights in South Africa. The misinformation about land grab and all other falsehoods are rather unfortunate. Worse, when a minister publicly said the act will not be implemented when he is still in the office. Many ministers take an oath of office, committing that they will obey and uphold all the Constitution and all other laws of the Republic, that they will uphold their offices conscientiously. Therefore, such a response is not only unfortunate, but bear the need for self-development. I must say, there are many ministers who would have not been comfortable with other acts, but upon taking the office, they implement them. Well, we are seeing what was perfectly described by the late Dumsan Makaye some time ago. Shombela said, when racism is combined with ignorance, they produce arrogance.
And Sihle Zikalala says that in the USA they call it eminent domain, and he says in India they call it land acquisition. Then he says in New Zealand, Ireland, UK they call it compulsory. And he says that in Russia, Canada, Brazil they call it expropriation. So basically this act is all over the world. But seems like there are people like our referendum, the DA, that they don't want this act, this bill to be passed here. And the NC and Sihle Zikalala was just telling them, and President Ramaphosa, that there is no danger in this act. Even the entire world is doing it. But when South Africans, when the ANC now is about to implement it, then the problems begin. So the DA is the problem altogether, and this GNU is not unity at all, because even Bas John, when all these things were said, Sihle was busy attacking. He seemed not to be quite so very happy, and he seemed not to be listening. And while the EFF was busy uploading, and after he is done, they gave him the biggest cheers and applause. Sihle, he can strike when he knows. But one thing that you can strike also is that subscribe button. Please support us. You can leave a comment on the section and press the super thanks button until we meet on the next video. And I'm out.